The book Upstarts says that the future of entrepreneurship is being defined by Generation Y. Author Donna Fenn explains how these young, brash, and highly educated upstarts are changing the entrepreneurial landscape and why you should be paying close attention.
Call them what you like. Gen Y, the me generation, net generation, echo boomers. I call them the entrepreneurial generation. Born between 1977 and 1994, they're 77 million strong, and they have a passion for starting their own businesses like no generation before them. You can't blame them for wanting to carve out their own destiny. They're stepping into the worst economy we've had since the Great Depression. Unemployment's at an all-time high, as is competition. Upstarts have grown up witnessing corporate scandals and layoffs and the ultimate demise of companies like Enron and WorldCom. It's no wonder they want to create their own businesses and go about it very differently. Upstarts constantly question how things are done and why. This healthy disrespect for the status quo leads to the kind of experimentation that breathes new life into tired industries. Tweak the business model and you change the game. Throw everyone a little off balance and stake a claim where your competitors fear to tread. Consider Omar Suleiman and Nick Friedman, childhood buddies who started College Hunks Hauling Junk, which racked up $3.5 million in sales in 2009. Omar and Nick knew that in order to distinguish their company in the fragmented junk removal industry, they needed to give customers an uncommon experience. So this included clean-cut, polite collegiate employees dressed in polo shirts and khakis, driving sparkling clean and bright trucks. They also pledged to recycle more than 60% of what was collected. What started out as a side job to make a few bucks during college has grown into a multi-million-dollar business with 26 franchisees operating 60 separate business units. Omar and Nick entered a fragmented industry, raised the service standard, and put a green spin on the venture. And in doing so, they entirely changed the game. But making their business environmentally responsible isn't a gimmick. It's another important component of the Upstarts DNA. Gen Y has a keen sense of social justice. A recent study shows that 61% of 13 to 25-year-olds feel responsible for making a difference in the world, and 79% want to work for a company that feels the same way. Those who venture into their own businesses consistently blur the line between for-profit and not-for-profit endeavors. When Shazi Visram and Jessica Rolfe launched Happy Baby Food, which makes frozen organic baby meals, they searched for organizations that were feeding hungry children worldwide. They partnered with Project Peanut Butter, a not-for-profit that treats malnourished children primarily in Malawi. Shazi and Jessica decided that for every unit of Happy Baby Food sold, they would donate to PPB the cost of feeding one child in Malawi for a day. In 2008, Happy Baby Food fed 600,000 children for a day. Upstarts not only support causes that are synergistic with their businesses, they often involve their customers in their efforts. They strengthen employee morale with pro bono work, and they mobilize volunteers to serve their communities. These companies also tend to be flexible, employee-centric meritocracies. It's tough to find a conventional, hierarchical, clock-punching workplace among them. Many upstart CEOs saw their parents forfeit huge chunks of their lives to the office for precious little things. They flat out refused to do the same. So they built companies where work-life balance, flexibility, and fun are core values. Upstarts create work environments where employees who excel are promoted quickly, where everyone has the opportunity to contribute to the idea pool, and where decision-making is transparent. Oh, and their workplaces are very often not a workplace at all, but rather a virtual one. Upstarts don't seem to need constant FaceTime with coworkers to get things done. They use Twitter, Facebook, Skype, and iChat as their virtual water cooler. Texting and messaging is the equivalent of popping your head around the corner. Lastly, there's something to be said about resilience and tenacity. Even though upstarts have inherited what President Obama has called the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression, they remain undaunted. Out of the 150 young entrepreneurs I surveyed for my book, over half of respondents said the recession had either been good for their company or had very little impact on it. Most have said they plan to create multiple companies, making them a generation of serial entrepreneurs. I hope you enjoy reading Upstarts as much as I enjoyed writing it.